On the WGY Morning News, a woman is suing an airline over claims she suffered mental trauma during turbulence on a flight. She claims she experienced extreme fear during the flight and believed she was going to die. We're joined by WGY legal analyst Paul Harding of Martin Harding & Mazzotti. Good morning.
Good morning, Chuck. Good morning, Kelly.
So does she have a claim here?
Well, she technically does, and when you say it like that she had extreme fear with some turbulence, I think the general feeling is, boy, who could bring a claim under those set of facts? We've all had a flight that hasn't worked out so well, but she technically does have a claim if she can show, as she purports, that in fact the amount of information that the airline had that there were going to be, and to quote the lawsuit, that there were tornadoes in the area, severe winds, and intense thunderstorms. And this odyssey took about 2 hours, a 20-minute flight. It took about 2 hours, 2 or 3 emergency landings, and they finally landed. So she has a cause of action. I don't know how strong it is. You can't hold the airline responsible relative to every weather-related issue. But the question is, what did they know before the plane took off?
I guess the other question would be, as an airline passenger, would you suspect that sometimes commercial flight will choose to go through some rough spots?
Well, it's an excellent point, but let's take a set of facts that doesn't exist here, thankfully. Let's say that the plane crashed. Let's say that it was a weather-related crash, and it happens. At that point, they do look at all the information I just said. What did they know before they took off? To your point, Chuck, absolutely. They drive through, they fly through weather, they do things, and they're going to have some jostling. But when a plane goes down, everything is looked at under a microscope, and this plane did not go down, but had it, you'd look at the same set of facts. What did they know before they took off? Again, 20-minute flight, so they probably knew more or should have known more because you're not looking too far out on the radar scale.
Now, she claims that she's been unable to fly since, and her job prospects and her earnings potential have been damaged as a result. So she's claiming loss of income too, as well.
Yeah, I mean, if she's got the formal diagnosis, the PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, it is quite crippling. We're seeing a lot of our servicemen come back with some variety of that, and just having a hard time assimilating back into our society here because of what they have gone through. And everyone has a different breaking point. I think most people on the flight could have gone through and just got done and kissed the ground and said, thank God I made it through this. That might be as far as it gets. But for her, at least from what they're alleging here, is that she reached her breaking point on this flight.
Do you think this opens the door then to other similar lawsuits where someone may get jostled around a little bit and say, oh, geez, I have post-traumatic stress disorder now?
Right.
And
I know.
I mean, at what point do you draw the line?
Well, I think it has to be the most severe. It's got to be a situation where the weather and the scenario was so bad that the airline should have, considered either flying around it or not flying at all. And secondly, again, this is a medical determined diagnosis. But I hear you. The last thing we need out there is more cases that are frivolous or even sound frivolous. I don't think many lawyers would take a case like this unless they truly believe they had a serious injury and they, in fact, could prove that the airline was negligent in allowing the plane to go forward.
WGY legal analyst Paul Harding, Martin Harding & Mazzotti, 1-800-LAW-1010. Paul, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Take care.